you're going to warm up your wrist with this turning from side to side. This is my right hand. You can start with either hand. We're going to do both the same. But just go over and back. This is kind of a heavier staff today, so I'm using this to really stretch out my wrists. It doesn't matter what heavy, light kind of staff you use. Anything will do. You can use a broomstick. Just get started turning side by side, step by step. We're going through how to learn martial arts at home or bow staff training at home. After 30 seconds on one hand, put it in that other hand and just go back and forth. It's the same thing. You're going for 30 seconds. You want to build power in your grip. You want to get blood to flow into the joints. Hello, Magnus. Magnus from Sweden says hello. You're just going side to side, 30 seconds. Again, I'm using my heavyweight bow staff today. I want that weight to build power in my grip. You can start light, start with a broomstick, a mop handle. Doesn't matter, just start. Now from here, step by step, step number 2, you're gonna start to add the other hand into your practice. So we're gonna one, do the other one. Hello, it's good to see everybody here today. One side and then the other side. Who's training with me today? Who's gonna be doing bow staff either now or a little bit later? Put that in the comment section below. Side to side, 30 seconds. You're just bringing it pinky to pinky, palms facing the sky to go into the other hand, turning all the way out. And step number 2 in this step by step, how to train bow staff at home for beginners. LM says me. LM is training today, bow. Awesome, thank you. The long martial arts staff or the bow is one of my favorite. Probably the weapon I use the most. That, the Joe, and the cane. You're going side to side. W9 UFO also is training today. Good. I love it when you guys train with me. Especially when we train hard. It's fun to train hard when it's not just you, when you're training with somebody else. Now, you're going to go in the middle. Tammy says, have classes every Thursday and Saturday. So Tammy will be training tomorrow and Thursday. Jeremiah, hello. It's good to see Jeremiah. Who else we have? Ensenada Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, getting tips for the Hapkido test. And Jeremiah is back. Good. Well, good luck on your Hapkido test. Going from side to side. It's fun. Hapkido is kind of old school Jiu-Jitsu, and BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that's the new stuff. It couldn't be more different, right? Going side to side, stomach up and in, abs tight, turning over, turning back. All you're doing here is carving that sideways figure 8 infinity sign. Bow staff training at home for beginners, step by step. Step number 4, we go into this figure 8 spin. Just going from one side to the other side, in and out. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. The whole time my hand is closed. You can open the hand to make it easier for yourself. Don't do that. You won't get the stretch and the flexibility and the strength that you need. And this is great for BJJ or Hapkido grappling. Having that wicked strong thing. Jeremiah's doing Wing Chun Kung Fu and saw live, came in, welcome. It's great for that Wing Chun 1-inch punch or the chain punch, having strong wrists, forearms. You get that here with this side to side figure 8 spin. Put it in the other hand, just taking it palms up, pinky to pinky. Close your hand, bring it in, stomach up and in, abs tight, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And you can spin it or speed up when you're ready. You don't have to go as fast as I am. You don't have to go as slow as I am. Once you get the basic motion, just do it for 30 seconds at least. Going in and out, step by step. How to learn martial arts at home, or how to do the bow staff training at home for beginners. Breaking it down step by step gives you a consistent way to train, which leads to consistent progress. This is all about you reaching and exceeding your martial arts goals or your fitness goals. Consistently, that's where the step by step comes in. Now this is the same figure 8 spin. And I'm doing it with the right hand, which is where I started. We were here in front of the body now. Just bring your feet up under your body and go to the front and to the back. Stomach up and in, abs tight, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. This one, if you squeeze your belly muscles tightly, drop your chin a little, breathe through the nose, you can increase your speed. And again, I'm using a heavyweight staff today because I want to build strength, build capacity. The more you do, the more you're going to be able to do. So when you want to get out of your comfort zone, I love the idea of getting out of the comfort zone when you train. I call it discomfort zone training. Good afternoon, Justin. It's good to see you. Justin, are you training with the bow today? We have a bunch of people training today, some training tomorrow, but you're going in and out to the front and to the back. Bow staff training at home, step by step. This step is just changing the plane, going to the side of the body instead of to the front of the body. Now, after 30 seconds here, I want you to go back to that first hand, and we're going to put the two hands together. So I'm going to do a spin here, and then when it comes over here, the next step, I'm going to bring these two together. Peter Von Tonder, hello from South Africa. Peter, hello. I bet it's beautiful, sunny where you are. Hope it's safe. Justin says this is a bit heavier today. He likes the progression. So we're working heavier staff today, but you can use any staff. From here, if this is my right hand, I'm going to come across to the left. When I do the forward spin, come across to the left, I take it behind. I take it behind here. Pinky to pinky comes up here. And Jeremiah says it's like 90 outside. It's 90 here, Jeremiah. I don't know where you are, but I love it. I'd love to be outside and train in the park. Turn it over here. Just I have some stuff to do before and after. Just finished a little half-day camp for a bunch of tweens. We get a lot of work. 3 hours a day. We get a lot done. But I'm coming behind, palm up. Then I have classes tonight, kids and adults. In the middle, I'll be doing some hand-to-hand combat training, personal protection skills. Be your own bodyguard. Be your own executive protection detail. Protect your family. I'm going to do that for some adults in the middle today, in the afternoon. Virtually, online. I like training like that. But that's both principles and techniques. But I'm taking it from behind. This is that forward spin, going hand to hand. Once you get it, keep running that back. I want you to start to move your feet. And let me move the camera back a little bit because I do want you to see my feet. I want you to see how uncomplicated my footwork is. This is very important. Small steps. Just stepping forward. I'm just going to stop the staff for a second so you can see my feet. Just stepping forward and stepping back. Now, the reason I wanted you to see that is because when we talk about stances and fighting, having long traditional stances, that works really well in kata, forms, pumse, patterns, whatever you want to call it. That looks great and that's awesome because it's an aesthetic thing. It's physically sound, it's very strong, structurally sound, but it looks good too. Aesthetically, the way it looks, it's very pleasing to the mind because you have big geometric shapes. You have triangles, you have rectangles, you have big circles, squares on top of squares, triangles. And here's what I mean. If I have this nice long stance, that's almost like either a triangle or long rectangle. And then I add my blocking motion, my striking. Maybe I'm in that back stance, right? Maybe I'm in the short back stance. And so that looks good. It's great for pumse, it's great for kata or forms. But when you fight, and I want you to learn how to fight for self-defense, I want you to adopt this idea of having short, natural stances. Knees slightly bent, blocking, right, or striking. From here, strike, down on top, block. And be able to move forward, move back, move to the side, move forward and to the side. From here, moving over, out of the way, strike as they come by. Moving here, blocking, smashing, and striking. And to do that, you have to have these small footworks. Hello, Wilson. Good afternoon. It's good to see you. All right, so when you do this, going hand to hand, I want you to take a couple of, I'm going to show you this way. Some small steps. Forward, and then just reverse your feet. So you're moving forward, moving backward, and when you're ready, we're going to turn around and we're going to go in reverse, pulling up, pulling up, pulling up. And so from here, using that pinky side, I'm pulling up and over, up and over. I'm just carving that figure eight I did with my thumb, but now I'm tracing it back the other way. And when I say figure eight, I mean a sideways figure eight. It's a figure eight that fell on its side, right? Or an infinity sign. So I'm pulling it up. I'm gonna do this in front of my body for 30 seconds. Then I want you to put it in the other hand. Do it 30 seconds in front of your body with the other hand. Go back to the first hand. I start with my left this time and do the same thing to the front and to the back of your body. That's literally this pinky carving and carving. See how that turns? You can also look at my elbow. Think of leading with the elbow, leading with the elbow. You're pulling it up here. And again, all of this is building power in your grip. When I grapple, whether it's traditional like the judo or hapkido or Brazilian jiu-jitsu, I have a very powerful grip. It's hard to open my hands. You have to use your whole body, if you know what that means. So my hand grip strength mostly comes from this training. Now, if you're striking martial arts, you also want a powerful grip. You want those wrists not to bend when you strike. You want that guard not to collapse when you're blocking or deflecting. So you want to have a power grip, and you're gonna get it, especially here, when you go to the front and the back of your body, stomach up and in, abs tight. But this also, from here, when I do this at the beginning, in the front, I'm really working this part of the shoulder. There are three parts. There's a muscle in the front, muscle on the side, and a muscle in the back. The anterior, medial, and posterior, I think. When I go into here, I now am doing more work on the side and the back than I am when I do this. So if you only do this motion in front of your body, you miss out on building the strength and the power in your entire shoulder. This makes your whole shoulder stronger. This allows you to defend yourself better. After 30 seconds here, I'm gonna take it in the other hand. Same thing, 30 seconds to the front and the back. And again, look how my hand stays closed. Keep your hands closed. You wanna be able to go through this range of motion without opening the hand. You'll see some people do this with stick spinning or whatever. That is so dangerous because you hit something that's coming out of your hand. Don't lose your weapon. Don't ever take your hand off your weapon, right? So you're coming front and back, stomach up and in, abs tight, other hand up. Increase that speed when you're ready. Really get it whipping around so you build that power. Tammy Dennis, Shori Goju Karate. I love Goju-Ryu because Goju is hard and soft, mixed together. It's such a beautiful style. Peter says, junior brown belt in karate, JKA karate, awesome. First dan in Jundokan, or Jonukan. Was that Judokan or Jundokan? I missed that. It shows up and disappears too faster than I can read it. But you just come into the front and the back. Good. After this, you're gonna go to that hand to hand. And before, when you were going forward, you took it behind. And remember this very first spin where you're coming side to side? That was to practice the transfer, the pass. Pass it from one hand to the other. Now when you're doing this reverse spin, you're gonna pass it the same exact way, but now you're gonna take it in front of the body. And it's gonna be on the same side. When you do a forward spin, you take it on the opposite side. Right hand, left side, left hand, right side. When you go in reverse, left hand, left side, it comes in front of, but it's all the same. Pinky to pinky, palms up. Hello, T. It's good to see T. T's just up the street from me here in Palm Beach Gardens. So T's in Florida. T, we have a virtual dojo going this morning. We got everybody from everywhere. Coming in and over, stomach up and in, abs tight. Turn your shoulders, turn your hips, drop your chin a little bit, breathe in through the nose, and then add the feet. Stepping forward, stepping in the reverse, and then we're gonna go back to the forward because I want you to see, Mr. X said, how often should you oil wooden weapons? Now take a look at this. I don't know how close we can get. See the sheen, the shine? This is a sealed weapon. Most come sealed. If you wanna oil it, you're gonna have to sand that off, and then you oil it. And if you sand it off and it doesn't have any finish, no lacquer on it, then you're gonna wanna oil it depending on how often you use it. Every 2 weeks or so should be enough. If you use it more, you won't need to oil as much because there's a lot of oil come out of your hands. If you use it less, you want to oil a little bit more, but you'll get a feel for it. But again, if it has that sheen, you'll have to sand that off. If you look at the link below, you'll see different options for staff. I asked Cane Masters. They made me a 54-inch Joe. I've been working with that. It's my new favorite weapon. It's my new favorite thing to mess with in the school. It's perfect. I mean, it's hickory. It's perfect. And I asked him, he's in the shop right now. They're putting together a 6-foot bow made out of oak and made out of hickory. And it's gonna be the same way. If you get one of those, you're gonna oil that. But what they do is they soak it in oil in a special polymer blend. And then that gets in there and then you won't have to oil it as much. But if you have a store-bought, like a Lowe's hardware, a dowel rod that you're oiling, you wanna do that every 2 weeks or so. And that should be enough. And always, start with what you have. If you have a stick, start with a stick. Invest your time before you invest your money. All right, so now, moving forward, step by step. This is bow staff training at home, step by step. The next step is moving forward. This is forward now. I want you to turn around and face the other direction. Now watch what happens to the spin. The spin never stops. As I turn around, it just goes into a reverse spin. If you turn around again, you're back into the forward. So just practice turning around and see how that moves it into the opposite spin. Reverse spin, forward spin. Just by simply turning your feet. And again, look at my feet. I'm gonna move the camera. It's super simple. I'm doing forward spin. See that? There's nothing fancy. You could overcomplicate it. You guys missed me smacking my head just now. You could overcomplicate it, but I wouldn't. That's what I was gonna say. And I hit myself in the head and I thought, that's what I get for trying to be smart. All right, don't overcomplicate it. Go forward, turn around, add a few steps, turn around. If you can, jog. Turn around, change positions while you're jogging, while you're running. Try one way, try to go all the way around, go all the way around the other way, and you get the basic idea. But move. If you can learn how to move while you spin, all of a sudden you become so much better, so much faster. And then if you do, excuse me, so I have a little bit of a cough. Justin's talking about transitions, working on transitions. This is one of the best ways to get good at bow flow or freestyle with your weapon, is adding footwork. And don't think of footwork as in like stances again. We're just talking about moving forward, moving back, moving forward. So if I'm facing you now, I'm coming forward. This is how you start and then reverse. Go forward and turn around backward. Do a full turn, go back the other way. And just do a full turn. And just only do this transition. All I'm doing is how we started, hand to hand. And then you're turning around, and it's super simple, right? Then you have to go behind your back. So from here, on the right hand, I'm gonna turn it down and it's gonna come up like this, but it's gonna be behind me. I'm gonna turn around so you can see that. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. And again, so this is a super simple motion. Now, see how it looks like a tree growing out of the back of my head? My other hand's gonna come under there, thumb to pinky, and I'm just gonna grab it, under, and then I pull it out. When I pull it out, it's just on the other side. Then, Jeremiah, go to the link below, that first link, take a look at the bow and the Joe, the different martial arts staff in that link. Coming side to side, side to side. Then I want you to put that together with this spinning, step by step. Next step, you're spinning. Now, this is gonna look so complicated if you haven't done it yet, but as soon as you do it, you're gonna be like, oh wow, that's so easy. I promise you, you're gonna find it so easy. What I'm doing to face the front here. What I'm doing when I come behind me is I'm just continuing to turn my feet. Look at my feet again, I'm turning the camera. Make sure my feet are in here. Come behind, coming behind. And if you only look at my feet, it looks really funny. But they're not gonna look at your feet. They're gonna see you spinning and they're not gonna pay attention to it. That's why they wear the hakama, right? The hakama. looks like the skirt shorts or pants or whatever that the Aikido players wear, or what are the other ones? Like when the samurai in the samurai films, they always wear that skirt-looking thing, the hakama, and you can wear that with the kigogi, the jacket. But that's all you're doing is you're just turning around your back. Now that's just a transition move. So when we're learning martial arts at home for beginners step by step, or bow step at home for beginners step by step, you want to then start to work on transitioning from one skill to another skill. And so we're going to do this forward figure eight, turn around, backward figure eight, turn around, forward figure eight, behind the back. Forward figure eight, going the other way. And there's no way to do it wrong. Look at this, you can whip it out to the side and do this one. So we practiced this before, right? Bring it here, take it over the top instead of the bottom. When I went behind my back, I took it under the bottom like that. I think I was like this, and I don't know. You get the idea, right? I go behind my back, thumb up, and I took it out this way. When I'm in front of my body, you just reverse all of that. So now if you practice going forward, turn around, you're in reverse, turn around, go behind your back, take it out to the side, bring it back through the middle, put it in the other hand. Now you can go from hand to hand. Oh, there it is. Go behind your back, go in front of your body, behind your back, whip it up over your head, behind your back, whip it up over your head. I was going the wrong way because I saw my belly sticking out. I thought, oh, my shirt's coming up. I got distracted. Behind the back, over the head, into a palm roll. And the palm roll is just opening your hand, and you can practice this. I've got to kneel down because I can't lift the camera up any higher. Just open and open. This is the next step. So now you're doing all these transition moves, behind the back, up over the head, palm roll, until either you lose it or you take it into the next one. And here's what happens when you drop it. You just pick it up, right? And don't expect not to drop it. I drop mine still all the time. And I've been doing this at least for 30 years. Almost every day for 30 years. I'm sure there were stretches of like 5 and 10 years at a time where I did do this every single day. But I still drop it. Don't expect not to drop it. If you don't drop it, you're not trying something new. You're not getting out of your comfort zone. You've got to grow. Let's finish with this wrist roll. And someone asked me, how do you do a continuous wrist roll? And what has to happen is you know, let me get the one with the tape on it so that you can see what's really happening. Because there's a subtle move that will become instinctive for you as you practice, and meaning that you're going to do it without thinking about it. When I turn here, I keep going in the same direction, but see how far that puts my hand away from the center? This is the center. As I bring it, I've got to slide it. And to slide it, all you do is soften your grip and close your grip. And again, this is going to be a subtle move. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Take your time. I want you to start, go one way. I'm just lifting here. I open the hand. Here, open the hand. Here, open the hand. Just going side to side. It's as simple as that. And then if you want to go continuously, slide your hand. Reset it. Continuously. Same thing here. Or in this direction, there's a little extra move you can do where you go behind your thumb. See how I have it with my thumb? And then when you drop it, pick it up. So a continuous wrist roll, that happens sometimes. When you go from like a really heavy staff to a really lightweight staff, this is rattan. The nice thing about rattan, this is the Chinese style. You'll see some of the Koreans, you'll use these too, and there's that, see how it bounces? So that, you know, and then the slap on the ground and from one side to the other, that's more Chinese style. Japanese style there's no spin in Japanese style, no spin. The most you'll get in the Japanese style is hand walking. It's Japanese style is self-defense only. That's it. If you watch tournaments, or you watch like Tyler Lautner, who's a famous actor who got started in martial arts tournaments doing these competitions, they're doing what we're doing, which is a blended style. It's a whole bunch of different styles all put together. But the great thing about martial arts, and this is something I've been thinking about lately, is that almost all martial arts start with weapons, and then you learn how to go to the empty hand. So the weapons always came first. Learning how to fight with a sword, a stick, a staff, a spear, right? What else? Knife, cudgel. One of the first weapons is a club, like the Indian club. So they learn how to fight that way, and then all the moves that you see in the traditional striking arts, they all come from weapons. What you would do with the weapon and how you would block, right? The blocking and the striking motions and all the stuff with the sword, blocks and strikes. And then you learn how to do this after. And that's because martial arts was designed. Hey, Sensei Emmett, it's good to see Sensei Emmett from Ireland. Martial arts starts with the weapons, and then it goes to the empty hand. So it's kind of fun that we do a lot of weapons, because traditionally, thousands of years ago or whatever, or hundreds, whatever the right term is, depending on the style, you would be doing weapons. And then you would get into the empty hands. You would be doing a lot of both. Oh, cool. Wilson just got a 6-kilogram Indian club. What's that in pounds? I can never figure that out. Is that 1.5 pounds? And Jimmy says, one day you'll be able to do that. Yes, Jimmy, you will. As long as you don't give up, as long as you keep training, you'll be able to do this plus 1,000 times more. You'll be better than I ever was. That's what we want. I said we'd finish with the wrist roll, but let's do some finger rolls. And there are two ways to finger roll. One is a 3-finger roll, where it comes to the 3 fingers, comes to the last 2 fingers, the ring finger and the pinky finger. And then you roll it over 3 fingers, grab with the thumb. Oh, 2.5 pounds. Cool. Oh, 2.5 pounds. Yeah, go light. If that's it's probably not your first pair, but if it were your first pair, you'd want to go really light at first. And if you don't have a light pair, do really basic motions first. Big motions, not little motions. Protect your wrists and your elbows and your shoulders when it comes to Indian swinging clubs. Work your way up. Yeah, 15 pounds. So a 15-pound club, and I know you know this. 15-pound club, you're going to be doing a lot of squatting exercises, and you'll be doing maybe the mill, but very slowly at first, and working yourself through. I had 15-pounders and 20-pounders and 25-pounders. They didn't make the trip. They're still up in Ohio. So we're coming around. This is a continuous finger roll. This is a 3-finger roll. The purpose of the 3-finger roll is to work it into, there's a wrist roll, work it into your spins. You could stay out here and do a continuous finger roll all day if you wanted, but usually you would do a wrist roll into a 3-finger roll, and all these rolls, all these wrist rolls, finger rolls, are designed to break up the monotony or the rhythm of the spin so that it looks aesthetically, remember, it looks more interesting, more exciting, plus it's better for your brain, to challenge your brain. You start going forward. Remember, we turn around, we go back, we go behind the back, we go to the side of the body, the other side of the body, we bring it over, bring it behind the back, whip it up over the head, do a couple of palm rolls, bring it down, finger roll into a wrist roll, and then changing positions, changing hands. And you're going to do all that stuff, and it's going to come naturally to you when you try it. Here's the biggest challenge that people have. I'll say, okay, time to freestyle, and everybody will just do the same thing. I might try something else. And they're thinking. I'm like, just step and turn. And then they hit themselves and they drop it. But the point is, if you don't start to try, if you don't try to do it, you'll never do it. So force yourself out of your comfort zone, do something, and then your body's going to figure one thing out, and then you're going to say, oh, cool, I can do that now. And then you might not even know how you did it, but palm roll. But then you'll be able to do stuff, and you'll be able to, and it's not for anybody else, who cares, right? It's for you, for your brain to grow, and for you to get all of these skills. Get the power in that grip, get the power here. You're not gonna use spinning for self-defense. You're gonna use basic strikes, blocks, smash, thrust, spear, rifle butt, bayonet attack. But all this spinning is gonna give you wicked strength, and it's gonna make your brain faster so you can think on your feet. And in fact, you'll stop thinking. You'll just respond and move and strike and move and block and do the things that you have to do without even thinking about it because you've done all this training. You guys have been awesome. I'll see you on the next one.